My ex-girlfriend wants to give our baby up for adoption, but I'm not sure I can do it. When I first found out my ex-girlfriend was pregnant, I was completely blindsided. I'm 23, she's 20, and we had broken up about 2 months before she told me. I was still processing my own life. I'd just graduated, had started my first real job, and thought I was finally getting a grip on adulthood. I didn't even know she was pregnant until she was around 14 weeks along. She told me she was planning on giving the baby up for adoption. At first, I didn't know how to react. I tried to stay calm and rational. I told her I would support whatever decision she made. I believed in a woman's right to choose, and I felt guilty for even being overwhelmed. The idea of becoming a father seemed wild, unrealistic, and terrifying. But when she mentioned adoption, something hit me in the chest. It felt wrong. She had already connected with an adoption agency and was looking into potential families. I understood her reasoning. She was 20, in college, and not ready to be a mother. But every day, my discomfort with the idea of giving up my child grew. I began researching contested adoptions, trying to figure out if I could prepare myself to take on the baby entirely if I needed to. I didn't want to force her into anything. I wasn't trying to argue or manipulate her, but the thought of losing my child before I even held her in my arms was unbearable. My mom, who had been supportive throughout everything, told me she understood my feelings and would support me even if it seemed crazy. That's when I realized I had to make a choice. I couldn't just sit back and let life happen around me. Update 1. After posting about my situation online, I received an overwhelming response. People gave advice, shared their own experiences, and challenged my thoughts. Some told me I needed to let her go, some told me I had to fight for custody, and some made me realize I hadn't truly considered the legal logistics. We're in regular communication at this point, though we didn't speak daily. She hadn't found a family she felt completely right about yet, and asked me if I had looked through the adoption agency's information. I admitted I had, but told her it didn't feel right. I told her I wasn't saying she should raise the baby, just that I wasn't sure I could let her go. She laughed at the idea of me being a single dad, and called me crazy. I understood why. It was a huge ask, even for myself. It was around this time that I realized I had to be completely honest with myself. I couldn't half-step into fatherhood, and I couldn't ignore the desire to be there for my child. She understood my position, but remained firm about wanting to move forward with adoption if I didn't intervene.
Update 2. I consulted a lawyer to understand my rights and responsibilities. I learned about establishing paternity prenatally, joining the presumed father registry, and filing for custody if necessary. The legal process was daunting, but I couldn't ignore it. I realized that even if she continued with adoption plans, I had the right to protect my relationship with my child. At this point, I committed to pursuing custody if needed. I wasn't trying to force a relationship with my ex. We had different life goals and didn't belong together. But I couldn't stand by while my child was given away without my consent. I needed to act before it was too late. Update 3. As I began preparations, she gave birth to our daughter earlier than expected, on New Year's Day. She didn't tell me until days later, which left me frustrated and hurt. She took her home with her parents, saying she needed a few days to recover and bond before I could see her. I had planned to be at the hospital to establish paternity and start custody arrangements immediately, but that opportunity passed. I had to accept that I couldn't control everything. I focused on preparing for my role as a father, budgeting, planning my schedule, and moving closer to family support. I knew I couldn't rely on her involvement. Meeting my daughter for the first time was overwhelming. She was tiny, fragile, and perfect. I held her and felt a rush of emotion I hadn't anticipated. Joy, fear, and responsibility all mixed together. Every little detail mattered. Her eyes, her tiny fingers, the way she slept in my arms. It was terrifying and beautiful. Update 4. Legally, she had full physical custody because of the way the law works, but we were able to establish joint legal custody through a declaration of paternity. My attorney began working on amending custody arrangements to reflect that I would be the primary caregiver. Even though everything wasn't final, I felt a sense of direction. I was ready to be a father, to fully commit to raising my daughter, and I knew I would do it even without my ex-girlfriend's support. She had chosen not to be involved, and I respected her decision, but I also recognized my responsibility to my child. The days following her birth were exhausting. She cried often, spit up frequently, and had colic that left me rocking her for hours. I was sleep-deprived, emotional, and overwhelmed, but every moment strengthened my resolve. I wasn't just preparing for parenthood, I was becoming a father.
Update 5. It's been a few weeks since I brought my daughter home. I'm settling into my new routine, learning to balance work and childcare, and slowly finding my footing. I have support from family and friends, but I know this journey will be challenging. I've accepted that my ex-girlfriend won't be part of our daily lives, and that's okay. My focus is entirely on my daughter and giving her the love, care, and stability she deserves. I'm learning that parenthood isn't just about the moments we imagine. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when we're exhausted, and even when life throws unexpected challenges our way. Looking back, I realized I was terrified at the idea of fatherhood. I worried about finances, logistics, and my ability to provide. But now, holding my daughter in my arms, I know that love and commitment matter more than preparation. She's my responsibility, my joy, and my world, and I wouldn't trade a single moment of it for anything. Update 6. Becoming a parent so young, with an unexpected pregnancy and an unplanned journey, isn't easy. It's messy, emotional, and terrifying. But it's also transformative. I've learned that stepping up, even when life doesn't go as planned, is the true measure of parenthood. I don't know what the future holds, but I know I'll face it with my daughter by my side. She's my child, and nothing, not fear, not exhaustion, not uncertainty, will stop me from being the father she deserves.